If you are new to my first channel, this channel, I'm just on here sharing educational knowledge with you that I've accumulated over approximately 10 years of practicing law. Please take a moment to subscribe. And with that said, I'll begin. So in this video, let's talk about when you move into your rental home and when you're moving out of your rental home, and what you can do to help protect yourself from liability or to help limit your liability. Now, whether you are renting an apartment, a house, a condo, a townhouse, a mobile home, or any other type of home, or even if you're just renting a room in a home, first, when you move in, take a look around the home. Look at the living room, the walls, the balcony, the yard, the garage, the storage space, the kitchen, the countertops, the fridge, the freezer, the dishwasher, the sink, the faucets, and the handles, the cabinets, the washing machine and the drying machine area, the bathrooms, bedrooms, closets, carpet, and the lighting. Yes, the lighting in all of the rooms. Look at the lights, especially the rooms with the carpeting. And when you look at all of these things, plus whatever else you can reasonably examine in the home that you are now renting, take pictures and video, preferably before you move any of your belongings into the home that you are renting, so that you can see very clearly the condition of the home. And if possible, take photos in the daytime with the lights on and the daytime with the lights off and nighttime with the lights on and off, depending on if there's still light outside, if possible. And when you take pictures and video of the condition of the home, please take your time. I know it sounds like a pain, and it is a pain, but it can be really helpful in case there is an issue later on. Now, let's talk about a condition form. Some properties provide you with some sort of condition form in which they expect you to notate and write down any issues you see with the home. And a lot of people might not take that very seriously. They might kind of look at the form as a waste of time and brush it off. But it is important to fill it out properly. And anything that you're not sure about, you can put that you're not sure about it, or that it requires a professional's analysis or some level of expertise in an area that you don't quite understand or have knowledge in, or something along those lines. Something along those lines that shows that you are not leaving those sections blank for the landlord to assume that everything's great with the home's condition that you're about to rent, especially if it's not great. So you don't want to just leave the sections blank. That's not helpful. Now, let's talk about move out. It's also very helpful to take pictures and videos before you turn over the keys. And whether you are moving in or out, it's helpful to take a lot of pictures. Like a lot of pictures. Details, think details. Now, let's go back to the carpet and the lighting situation, because this can be a big deal. How many people have been accused of damage to the carpet in a lease agreement? Like, raise your hands. I guess if it was a live video, that would work. So, depending on the type of day or night, the lighting in the rooms can look differently and reflect differently on the carpet. Can you believe that the light can make the carpet look a certain way? Like, are we really having a conversation about lighting in the home? Yes, we are. Isn't that ridiculous? Yes, it is. So again, the more pictures you take, the merrier. And multiple videos sounds better than one. You want as much evidence as possible to help you show how your rental looked in the beginning before you moved in and how it looked in the end when you were moving out, just in case issues arise related to its condition after you moved out. So let's discuss the lighting situation a bit further. Sometimes the lighting plus the color scheme of the home can make it look like the carpet has damage that it does not have. And when some of these landlords hire third parties to come in and evaluate the condition of the carpet for damage, some of these third-party companies may use the lighting to their advantage. Or they may take their own inaccurate photos, and then the landlord might not even show you what the photos look like, or if they do show you the photos, you're looking at the photos like, I really don't remember ever seeing anything like that. So if possible, it is helpful to take pictures with the lights on and off, and videos with the lights on and off, and daytime and nighttime photos and videos. All of that can be helpful. Now, one more thing. Pet damage. Be careful when you have a pet, and when you do not have a pet, and your landlord knows that you do not have a pet because you notated that in your lease documentation. If the home that you are renting has carpet, try walking across that carpet in white socks or black socks, or even both. That's even better. To see if any animal hair sticks to the bottom of your socks. Or find something that you can use that can pick up animal hair in the carpet that you might not be able to see with your eyes. And if you find what you believe is animal hair in any of the carpeting or in the washing machine or in the tub, and you don't have a pet, you should inform them about the animal hair, preferably in an email complaining about it, and take pictures and video of it so that you know that there were animals in the home, so that they know that you know. They know that you know that there were animals in the home before your arrival. So please be your advocate. It does not matter how nice and friendly the property management, the leasing agents, and the landlord, and the homeowner, whomever you are renting from. It does not matter how nice and friendly they are. When you move in, everyone's nice and friendly then. Renting is a business, and sometimes business can get really messy. So be your advocate. Be proactive and try to protect yourself when you are renting or leasing a home. And it can be very helpful to address any issues that you find up front right away as soon as possible. As soon as you discover them, send those emails. Send those emails. Send them. And for more education, please subscribe. If you're new to my first channel, this one, thank you for being here. And I'm just here sharing educational knowledge with you that I've accumulated over approximately 10 years practicing law. Please take a moment to subscribe or follow. And with that said, I'll begin. In this video, we are focusing on security deposits that are meant for damages and helpful suggestions for homeowners, landlords, and property management companies related to tenant security deposits. So what is a security deposit when it relates to damages? Well, Generally, it is an amount of money that a person or a company pays before moving into a home as part of an agreement to rent a home, and can serve as a protective measure for landlords and as a professional gesture for tenants on behalf of the tenants to inform the landlord that the tenant plans to take care of the home while living there for an agreed amount of time. And this amount of money can be used to cover possible or potential losses or damages that can occur during the period of the rental agreement. Now, a security deposit can be refundable and or non-refundable. But for the purpose of this video, we will be discussing refundable security deposits related to damages and 5 helpful suggestions for landlords that can also help tenants. Number 1. The first one is likely pretty obvious and usually happens. Have a written lease agreement between you, the homeowner, or you, the landlord, or you, the property management company, and your tenant. But here is the part that's not so obvious. With all of the disputes and disagreements and arguments, etc., over security deposits, it might be helpful to make sure that your lease agreement includes more details related to the security deposit, such as explain upfront different examples of what the security deposit can cover and its purpose. What I find is that often landlords are surprised when tenants get upset about certain deductions from their security deposit, and landlords do not understand why the tenants are upset. So it's helpful to provide examples up front in the lease agreement or an addendum, meaning an attachment to the lease agreement of examples of what the security deposit may cover in an effort to promote transparency, clarity, and understanding, and to try to reduce unnecessary disputes and arguments. Number 2, understand the full condition of the property before your renter moves in. It is helpful to make sure you have done a full, accurate evaluation of the property after each move out and before each move in, and not just depend on a third-party contractor to do the evaluations for you. Now, there are some really great third-party contractors out there, and then there are some that are not great at all, but rather quite the opposite. Some third-party contractors might tell you, some of the ones that are not great, might tell you that X, Y, and Z needs to be replaced, and there's nothing wrong with X, Y, and Z that requires you to replace the whole thing. But when replacements are more profitable than cleanings, example with carpet, then some companies prefer that you just replace it if it means more profit for them. So take the time to evaluate and document the condition of your home yourself, if possible. An example before new renters move in and when renters are moving out, to try to prevent certain disputes from happening later, especially when it impacts security deposits. Number 3, it can be helpful to consider having a periodic follow-up with tenants, maybe through email or phone calls with follow-up emails to ask or discuss with your tenant if there are any concerns with the rental home or rental unit that they might want to share with you. And perhaps you can assist them with. And this method can benefit you, especially if it can lead to preventative maintenance measures that therefore might not later impact the security deposit or have less of an impact on the security deposit if handled sooner. And this method can be helpful to keeping the value and the appeal of the property up. And then follow-ups can also benefit the tenants because some tenants might be very receptive and ready to engage in this form of open communication and provide you with some concerns or issues that they are having with the unit or the home that they might not otherwise mention to you at all while they are living there. And you might be thinking, well, this is what maintenance requests are for. And yes, to some extent, definitely. But there are some things that not even maintenance can fix or replace or handle that requires you, the landlord, homeowner, or the property management company to be involved. And ideally, you want tenants to be comfortable enough to approach you early on instead of keeping whatever the issues are to themselves until their lease is over. That line of open communication can promote satisfaction and build positive, encouraging, professional relationships with your tenants to foster a sense of community and more responsibility and accountability on both sides and more lease renewals, positive vibes. Remember, you are a person and your tenants are people, and everyone's going through something different, and everyone has feelings and emotions and better days and worse days, and sometimes a caring approach can go a lot further in a healthier way than other approaches. Ugh. Number 4, it might be helpful to make sure that you are reviewing the maintenance requests, even if the maintenance requests have technically been marked as completed or already performed. I point this out because sometimes some of those maintenance requests cannot be completed without the landlord or the property management actually getting involved. And maintenance may have told the tenant that the work could not be completed, but that message might not have gotten back to you, the landlord, or you, the property management company. Or you just did not see the message, and perhaps the work really needs to get done in the unit or in the home, and the work that needs to get done could tie directly to the security deposit later on in a much more expensive way than if the work is addressed sooner. And the other reason to review maintenance requests is simply to see what kind of problems tenants are reporting. See if there are certain trends, larger issues at hand, etc. Things that could be proactively addressed by you if you are aware of it. And 5, when you send your former tenants their security deposit correspondence, along with the security deposit minus the appropriate deductions, and you provide the details of what was deducted, an example through itemization, it is also helpful to provide copies of actual receipts related to the appropriate deductions from their security deposits. Actual detailed receipts that state the date of the transaction, the amount paid, the service or the item that was paid for, and some sort of proof that directly relates to the home or the unit that your tenant just moved out of. And maintaining that ongoing open line of communication with your tenants and building that professional rapport during their lease term is more likely to be helpful in establishing that your receipts related to the security deposit deductions are for that particular home or unit without your tenants possibly wanting to question you over it or wanting to continuously question you over it. And providing actual receipts helps to further promote a sense of transparency between you and your tenants, which is something that's helpful. And for more education, please subscribe.